Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be reading another mini mystery from Geromino Stilton.
The Super Scam. And remember that last time, before we made the other video, we usually didn't find the other mysteries, but we also did mystery number 2 because it's from our school.
So we have
the Super
Scam, and we're gonna read it aloud.
And yeah, let's read.
One long week. It was a chilly evening in November. I was at home, sprawled out on my favorite paw chair in front of a cozy fire. It had been one long week. I had been running my tail off at the newspaper. Oops, excuse me. I always forget to introduce myself. My name is Stilton, Geromino Stilton. I run the Rodents Gazette, the most famous newspaper on Mouse Island. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. I was relaxing at home with a steaming cup of chamomile tea in my left paw and a paw full of my favorite chocolate cheesy chews in my right. Soothing classical music filled the room. I was listening to the one and only Mozart. What a musical genius! I sighed happily.
I had just closed my eyes and put my paws up on my paw rest
when all of a sudden,
ding dong, my doorbell rang. I jumped a foot, flinging my tea into the air.
So much for a relaxing night. Urgent letter for Mr. Geromino Stilton. I shuffled to my front door. Who is it? I squeaked nervously. It was after 10 p.m. Who would be ringing my doorbell so late? Mail! Yelled a high-pitched voice on the other side. Mail? In the middle of the night? Urgent letter for Mr. Geromino Stilton. Can you please open the door? I need your signature. The voice continued. I opened the door, signed the form, and then returned to my paw chair to read the letter. It said,
Biorama Superstore. Dear customer, you are cordially invited to the grand opening of Squeakman's Biorama Superstore this Sunday at our new Mouse City location. Every guest will receive free wireless Squeakman Super headphones. See you there.
Cheesily yours,
Sincerely, Squeakman.
Cyril Squeakman.
Oh.
Scratch the cheese signal next to this message. You could be the lucky winner of the cheese-scented mountain bike. If it's at Squeakman's, you gotta have it. Cyril Squeakman.
The flavor.
I was thinking about what I would do with a cheese-scented mountain bike. Even though I'm not a great biker, when the phone rang. Once again, I jumped a foot, this time flinging the letter in the air. So much for a relaxing night. Hello. As soon as I picked up the phone, a mouse began squeaking my ear off. Hello. I'm Cindy from Squeakman's Biorama Superstore, and I do have some great news
for you, she
gushed. You are the lucky winner of a free gift card to use at our store. Congratulations! Just present the card, and you'll receive a free pair of Squeakman's Super stretchy suspenders. I tried to explain that I prefer wearing a belt, but she cut me off. Muzzy mozzarella. Then Mouse could squeak. She insisted that I write down a secret code that would allow me to collect my prize. But while getting to a notepad, I tripped on the phone cord and fell flat on my snout. Kaboom! Forget the suspenders. I might need a pair of crutches. I thought as Cindy rattled off my secret code. Then she chirped goodbye and hung up before I had a chance to write it down. Thanks, I murmured, still lying on the floor. A few seconds later, the phone rang again. Ring! So much for a relaxing night. Can we go?
I sighed.
I sighed and picked up the phone. Stilton Residence, I answered, looking wistfully at my cozy paw chair.
Hi, Uncle, a little voice squeaked.
I cheered up instantly. It was my dear nephew Benjamin. I would do anything for him. So when he asked me if I would take him to the opening, I said yes without even thinking. Then I realized I had no idea what opening he was talking about. Grand opening of SBS, of course, he explained. SBS? I mumbled. Squeakman's Biorama Superstore. Didn't you see the commercial on TV? They're giving away free wireless Squeakman Super headphones. Can we go? He pleaded.
First, I turned as yellow as squeezed cheese, then as red as a tomato, then as brown as a bar of milk chocolate.
If there's one thing I hate, it's shopping, and I especially hate those ginormous shopping centers. They're usually filled with teenage mall rats. But I would rather rip all my whiskers than disappoint my nephew. So I said, of course, we can go. In fact, we'll be the first ones to get there. Just a few more paw steps. What a bad idea! That Sunday, everyone else in Newmont City also went to the grand opening of SBS.
As soon as we got in the car, we
were stuck in a huge traffic jam. The whole time, the face of Cyril Squeakman grinned down at us from billboards on the side of the road. Biorama Superstore. Gotta have it, Cyril Squeakman. It was a really long trip. 2 hours and 15 minutes to reach the parking lot. 45 minutes to drive around the whole parking lot without finding a spot. Half an hour to squeeze in between two SUVs in another parking lot 5 miles away. Parking lot Z, row 899. 15 minutes to get out of the car using the window. But we finally arrived. Well, I thought we had arrived until I realized we had to cross all the parking lots and follow a ton of signs to get there. This way to Squeakman's.
Just a few more paw steps.
You're almost there. What a workout! I was exhausted. Did I mention I'm not the most athletic mouse on the block? Come on, Uncle, you can do it, Benjamin encouraged me. I tried to smile, but the time I arrived at the entrance of Squeakman's Biorama Superstore, I was a wreck. My heart was pounding and my tongue was dangling out of my mouth. Pen. This way to SBS. Antenna. Helicopter. Unloading dock. Cyril Squeakman, SBS. Geromino car, parking lot 0899. If the arrow goes here, it doesn't mean by the sea. It means like another place. Geromino Benjamin. A long line of mice.
When I stopped panting, I looked around. The first thing I noticed was a helicopter parked on the roof.
Then I saw a really tall antenna. Strange.
A long line of mice stood in front of a big flashing sign that read,
Free wireless Squeakman super headphones.
Benjamin and I got in line with everybody else. While I was waiting, I
tried to scream. It wasn't easy because my paw got stepped on 36 times. I got elbowed in the stomach 14 times. A very heavy mouse fell asleep on my shoulder. After 45 minutes, we finally arrived at the counter, where Cyril Squeakman himself was waiting on us with a big phony smile. Clue number 1. What strange thing do you notice on the roof of Squeakman's store? Cyril Squeakman. Mr. Stilton, what a pleasure! He bellowed, crushing my paw on his. I blinked. Do we know each other? I asked, wincing. My paw was troubling. Where was a nice bucket of ice when you needed one? Free wireless Squeakman super headphones. Oh, don't be shy, Stilton. I'm a big fan. The Rosen Gazette. Your many books. I've read them all, he declared. His smile was so bright, it hurt my eyes. And who could this adorable young mouse? He asked, patting Benjamin on the back. Nice to meet you, Benny. This is my nephew, Benjamin, I replied. Nice to meet you, Benny, he said in his too loud voice. Then he handed us each a headset. Here are your free gifts. 2 incredible sets of Squeakman super headphones. Put them on. They will help you select our products. And you can use this button for your Squeakman super cart. Happy shopping, Stiltons, he cried, crushing my paw once more. I wonder if I would be able to ride with it again. You gotta have it. Benjamin put on his headset and took off into the crowd. Wait for me, I called, grabbing on a shopping cart. But he couldn't hear me.
I sighed and put on my headset. I was definitely not in the mood to shop. But what else could I do?
The minute I put on the headset, happy music filled my ears. Suddenly, I had the urge to dance. When I glanced up, I realized everyone else was dancing too. I tried to resist the temptation to dance, but it was practically impossible. How strange. I don't even like dancing. I found myself jumping around with my headset on. I felt so happy. I looked at the shelves and started to grab everything in my reach. I got 5 pounds of Swiss cheese, Squeakman's alarm clock radios, 10 containers of Squeakman's shower gel, 13 baseball hats that said, I love SBS, 1 Squeakman's multitasker sous vide machine with a built-in fur dryer, and 7 tubes of fur-quenching aloe butter. Benjamin was doing the same thing. He had put in the cart 1 enormous teddy bear, 7 Squeak Station video games, 2 pairs of Swiss fins, 5 boxes of Squeakman's chocolates, 400 inflated balloons, 12 blue SBS bouncy balls, and 1 giant mortise-sized car shaped like an elephant. As I shopped, I sang out, Gotta have it! I was so happy. Clue 2. Why do Geromino and Benjamin suddenly feel so happy when they have a strange desire to dance? Pop, pop, pop. Soon I was pushing a full cart that I couldn't even see where I was going. I ended up crashing into another Squeakman's supercart jam packed with items. It was being pushed by a large mouse. She was moving so fast that she rolled right over me and kept on going. I hit the ground with a thud and sent my headset flying. Then I heard a sound like a thousand soap bubbles popping. Pop, pop, pop. When the sound stopped, I looked around in confusion. Why was everyone dancing and saying, "Gotta have it"? Even my nephew Benjamin was kicking up his paws and singing. I felt I was stuck in the middle of a Gotta Heaven music video. How strange! Just then, a security mouse in dark glasses approached me. He was dressed in black and has a small microphone in his front of his mouth. "Are you okay, sir?" he asked me. "Well, I began. But he cut me off. "Let me help you," he said. Then he picked up everything and put it back in my cart. Thank you," I stammered. The dark glasses were so creepy. Why wear them inside? I thought about asking him. But instead I said, "Why is everyone singing and dancing?" The security mouse ignored me. He just jammed my headset back into my head, and he squeaked through his microphone. "Danger averted, situation under control." I started to frown, but when I heard the music coming from my headset, I was happy again. Before long, I met with Benjamin in register number 320. Clue 3. Why did the security mouse say danger averted into his microphone? Did you go shopping? I spent a ton of money without batting a whisker. We needed 44 shopping bags for all the things we bought. Plus, I received my few Squeakman's super stretchy suspenders even though I didn't have the secret code.
I was so happy. It took me forever to get everything packed into the car, but I never stopped smiling. Finally, we took off, singing at the tops of our lungs, along with the music in our heads. Gonna have it! At home, unloaded our purchases in the living room. Then the music in my headset turned on by itself again, and I heard sounds like 1,000 soap bubbles popping. Pop, 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 pop.
I looked around the room at all of the useless junk I had bought. Suddenly, I began to feel unhappy. Dun, dun, dun. Meanwhile, Benjamin was still smiling, staring into space and humming along with his headphones. What was happening? Why did the music have this strange effect? I pulled the headset off Benjamin's head. After a few minutes, he stared at me, looking totally confused, and said, "What is all this stuff, Uncle? Did you go shopping?" He didn't remember a thing. By now, I was feeling totally confused myself. Why would I go shopping? I hate shopping. Was it all a bad dream? I was so exhausted that I decided to sleep on it. What kind of product was this? The next day, at 6 in the morning, the two Squeakman's alarm clock's radio began squeaking so loud that I leaped out of the bed like a high jump champion. Suddenly, I remembered shopping at Squeakman's and all the stuff Benjamin and I had bought. I took a shower from my new Squeakman's shower gel, and within 2 minutes, I was covered with itchy red bumps. What kind of product was this? Ugh! I thought I would get rid of them with a little Squeakman's aloe butter. But when the bumps just turned green and the itching got worse. What kind of product was this? Help! Then I tried to make myself a mozzarella and banana kiwi milkshake with my new Squeakman's multitasker smoothie machine was built in a fur dryer. But when I turned on the blender, the fur dryer kicked on too, spewing and shake all my head and the kitchen ceiling. What kind of product was this? Yuck. Help. Oh, oops.
I cleaned myself up and tried to put my new Squeakman Super Stretchy Suspender, but they stretched so much my pants fell to the floor. What kind of product was this? Finally, I opened up the box of Squeakman's chocolate. How can you mess up chocolate? But after I only nibble, my teeth with one stuck. Teeth were completely stuck together. I promised myself I would never step foot in junk-filled superstore ever again. I headed out to my office humming. Just then I heard a mother shrieking because of a wheel that rolled off her new Squeakman's baby stroller. Next, I spotted two little mice on their way to school with new Squeakman's backpacks that had come unstitched, well as Jogger, who has lost a sole of one of his new Squeakman sneakers. Holy cheese! I thought Squeakman is ripping everybody off. Someone should turn that rotten fur ball in. I reached the office and
determined to write a nasty article about him in my paper. I already thought of the headline.
I was heading for the Rodent Gazette superstore is a super scam. What's going on? I was heading for my desk when I realized there was something strange about the office. All my co-workers were dancing around Superman's super headphones. Gotta have it, they sang happily. I grabbed one of the new leather Katie cheese hearts and squeaked. What's going on? She looked at me on her headset. Green in addition of her. She was also wearing a t-shirt
that said, I love SBS.
And this is the one. And Geromino got this one. Yeah, let's continue.
I gulped. Something told me that I already knew the answer. Katie lifted up her headset. We're listening to the Squeakman station. The music was so catchy. Put on your headset, she crooned, dancing away. Double gulp. I ran to my desk. A few minutes later, Patty Prapp appeared at my office door. She held up the first proof of the newspaper. Look, Mr. Stilton, isn't this great? She asked. When I saw it, I nearly hit the ceiling. The whole last page was an ad for Squeakman's. In the ad, Cyril wore his phony grin by a slogan that read, Gotta have it. Who approved this? I asked, patting my head pounding. Your sister did, Mr. Stilton, Patty answered. I called Tia. She wasn't in. You have reached the voicemail of Tia Stilton. Her message squeaked. Sorry you missed me, but I'm at the SBS Super Sale. Half price off all Squeakman's inline skates, skateboards, and accessories. Gotta have it. I groaned. What was going on? Put me on! I left the office and ran home. I had to figure out why every mouse in I knew was dying to shop at Squeakman's. It didn't make any sense. New Mouse City had a lot of malls whose products were much better quality than Squeakman's. I made myself a nice cup of tea and stared at my Squeakman's super headphones. They were turned off. Or at least it seemed that way. All of a sudden, a buzz started coming out of the headset. A voice commanded, "Put me on! Put me on!" over and over.
Before I could stop myself, I reached for the headset. I felt like no choice. I had to put it on. Before I could, the voice stopped. Then it started again. "Put me on!"
Finally, the headset turned off for good. It was broken. Just like before, I heard the sound of 1,000 bubbles popping. Pop, pop, pop. Suddenly, I clapped my paw to my head. "That's it!" I squeaked at last. I finally understood what was going on. But before I could do anything, the doorbell rang. It was my nephew Benjamin and his friend Bugsy Woodsy. They were both happily wearing their headsets. "Hi, Uncle, can we go back?" Benjamin exclaimed. "Go back? Where?" I asked, already knowing the answer. Bugsy rolled her eyes. "Where else, Uncle G? To Squeakman's," she shouted. Clue 4. What did Geromino finally understand? "You better lie down." I pulled Benjamin and Bugsy inside. They removed her headphones. "Wait," Bugsy protested. "What's going on, Uncle?" Benjamin asked, looking confused. I tried to explain. "I think there's something strange about those headphones," I said. "For some reason, whenever anyone puts them on, they want to go shopping at Squeakman's." Benjamin scratched his head. "But headphones only play music," he mumbled. "Yeah," agreed Bugsy. "Music can convince you to go shopping, Uncle G. Maybe you'd better lie down. You're sounding a little cuckoo. Did you get hit on the head recently? How many whiskers do I have?" Bugsy snuck her snout in my face. I ignored her. "I'm telling you, the headphones convince you to do things. Before you got here, mine started squeaking, 'Put me on!' Then they broke," I insisted. Bugsy rolled her eyes. Benjamin coughed. "Why didn't they believe me?" Subliminal sound waves. Then I got an idea. I would ask my friend, the famous scientist, Professor Paus von Volt, what he taught. He took the professor less than 10 minutes to solve the mystery. "What are you describing, Geromino, is something that called subliminal sound waves," he said. The sound waves that have the power to hypnotize. Anyone who listens to them will do whatever they are instructed to do. Like go shopping for junk at Squeakman's Superstore, I said.
So that's what happened. So let's continue.
The professor nodded, and with the powerful antenna, these waves could be spread miles away, he added. I blinked, picturing the hypnosis antenna we had spotted on top of SBS. So that was how Squeak Man was getting everyone to shop at his superstore. That place is no superstore, Bugsy squeaked. It's a super scam. You can say that again, I agreed. That place is no superstore, it's a super scam, Bugsy repeated. Benjamin giggled. Then he grabbed my paw. Remember when you ran into that mouse with your cart? And your headset fell off? It must have been broken then, he guessed. I shook my head, remembering. It was a good thing that happened. Otherwise, we might never have solved the mystery. For once, my clumsiness had paid off. That's it! I'm bringing these headphones to the police. They'll arrest that rotten slinger Cyril Squeakman. It's time he stopped ripping off everyone in New Mouse City, I said. I was about to run to the police station when Benjamin and Bugsy spotted me. Wait, Uncle G, we've got a better idea. We just need the professor's help with these, Bugsy said, holding up the headphones. Clue 5. What do Benjamin and Bugsy want to do with the headphones? We want our money back. The professor knew what Benjamin and Bugsy wanted to do with the headphones. Reprogram them! He got right to work. Then, the next morning, we met at my house. Then headed to Squeakman's. I couldn't wait to get to the superstore, but for a different reason this time. As soon as we arrived, I stared up at the helicopter and the extra long antenna on the roof. I could see exactly where those sound waves were transmitted. Just like last time, SBS was mobbed with mice. But today, nobody looked happy. Nobody was singing or dancing or wearing the headphones. In fact, everyone looked furious, and the line of complaint counter was 2 miles long. This cat fur coat has 2 holes in the armpits, yelled a large mouse who had rolled her cart over me. This samaral blanket shoots out of sparks. It set my bed on fire, yelled the old rodent with a cane. This bottle leaks. It soaked my precious mouselet, yelled the mother mouse. We want our money back, yelled everybody. A mouse dressed in black tried to calm everyone down. It didn't work. The protest grew louder. Where's Squeakman? Someone shouted. Yeah, where's the crook? Yelled someone else. But Cyril Squeakman was nowhere in sight. Looks like everyone got the new message through their headphones. Professor, Benjamin said with a grin. Gotta return it, sang Bugsy, collapsing in a fit of giggles. I smiled happily. It felt good to put Squeakman the swinder out of business. As we returned to the car, we spotted the black helicopter. Speaking of Squeakman, good ride dance to Squeakman. Look, Uncle, shouted Benjamin. It's Cyril Squeakman. He's sneaking away. I watched as the helicopter lifted off, leaving the superstore far behind. I thought about calling the police, but when I looked at the crowd of rodents smiling, I decided to everything was be okay as it was. Good right hands to Squeakman! Everyone cheered. The next day, I read an article on the front page of the Rodent Gazette with the headline Squeakman shuts down. It showed a photo of SBS and the Cyril flying off in his helicopter. Something told me he wouldn't be coming back anytime soon. I was congratulating myself on a great job I had done discovering his supa store scam when Benjamin and Bugsy flew into my office. They had headphones and were jumping around. Uncle G, would you take us to the new toy store downtown? They're giving away free Super Mouse action figures, they pleaded. Oh no, not again, I grinned. But a minute later, Benjamin and Bugsy both collapsed into a fit of giggles. Just joking, they squeaked, hugging me. I grinned. I don't need a super mouse action figure to know that. I, Geromino Stilton, am super lucky to have the wonderful and family and friends. Remember the clues? Yeah, you know what to do. Check the answers. You can pause the video if you do that, but that's the end.
That's
And if you like the video, please subscribe.
Yay!